is the continuous feedback loop. I would emphasize how important that is when building partnerships, which are sort of long-term, not these short-term arrangements. And then coming on to something that Ralph mentioned, which stood out to me, was the mismatch. And I've seen this time and time again between startups and corporations. So the partnership isn't working, not because there's an inherent issue per se, but it's that we haven't understood what the other party's needs are. And we haven't really built that relationship to understand and feedback around that. I think some of the earlier comments around there being perhaps insecurities within the clinical community, I think that culturally is changing, and certainly there's huge opportunities for startups and developers to actually reach out to clinicians to really understand where that technology fits in the clinical workflow. So you might have a good grasp of what it's doing, but where does that fit in the patient journey? How might that differ from country to country? And even within the UK, that process might look very different in an NHS organization versus a private organization. Well, the process might not be different, but certainly the strategic requirements of the organization might be different. And that might change how you position yourself or some of the language that you use when you're building these partnerships. So those would be some of my comments, but I'll be watching the recording back and making more notes.
I want to say something too, actually. And this is also, as I talk to other sales guys on social media, a lot of startups have difficulty with their sales when they're starting out, and they will partner with another startup or another organization thinking that that partnership will solve their sales problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it almost never does. And I see, you could see that in Ralph's presentation. And I was just nodding along. Yep. I have questions for you as well. I don't want
Yeah, I
to.
mean, if I may add on that,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
yeah, I think they're onto something which is right. You're building your network and your community, and that sort of may help you in a problem that is not your immediate problem now. And so there's still value in building those relationships across this community in AI as it becomes bigger. But expecting your problem to match the exact needs or the exact sort of scope of another startup's problem might not be exactly transferable. There might be things you pick up and themes you pick up. So say with the NHS, with procurement challenges, you may pick up common threads and themes that will allow you to have good foresight of what those issues are. So I wouldn't say that that's useless. It's just relationships, partnerships, they're complex, and that's why they're fun, honestly. So you have to take the time to invest in them. My name's Ekanjali. I'm a physician by background, still practicing here in the UK. I transitioned into the health tech community, so I have a little bit of understanding around partnerships. I work for HCA in a large digital transformation project.